In this video, you will learn an essential cornerstone concept for designing and drafting floor plan drawings in AutoCAD. The main building block of designing and drafting floor plans is through an understanding and manipulation of square footage. What is a measurement of square footage? Simply put, it's the width times the length of any space, such that if the room is 10 feet by 12 feet, then the overall square footage equals 120. The measurement for both length and width is defined in feet, so the unit of measurement is expressed as feet squared, meaning times 2. It's easy to calculate the square footage of a single room, but what if you need to figure out the square footage of an entire floor plan? Let's look at this plan view example. Obviously, multiplying the overall width of the space, which is 56 feet 0 inches, by the overall length of the space, which is 36 feet 1 inch, would not be an accurate measurement. Using the AutoCAD calculator, I can multiply these two values together for an overall square footage of 2,016 square feet, but that would not be accurate. Can you see why? The shape of the plan view illustrates how much more complicated it would be to simply multiply the width times the length of the space, since this is not a simple rectangular shape. We need to be able to accommodate the bump out areas and the subtracted spaces from the overall shape of the plan view. Instead of dimensioning the space and then multiplying the width and length together, there is a better option. A better option is to use the AutoCAD command area to calculate the overall square footage of the interior space by picking at each intersecting corner. To prepare to do this, you should have the following OSNAP settings selected. At the command line, type OSNAP, return Enter. You should have endpoint, intersection, and perpendicular checked. Make sure the OSNAP F3 key is toggled on for the area command before getting started. Start by typing the area command, AREA. Choose a pick point to start the area measurement. This point should be an interior corner. I always start in the lower left-hand corner and move in the clockwise direction, and only selecting corner points. There is no reason to pick anywhere along the straight lines. Avoid doing this and only pick the interior corners. Zoom up close to make sure you are picking either an end point of the line or a perpendicular point. Use the pan tool if you need to move around in the drawing. To pan on a Mac, hold down the space bar. To pan on a PC, push down the middle mouse roller button. When you've made a full loop around the object by picking the interior corner points, to close the loop, you should make the final pick point the same point as the very first pick point. For finding area, you must define a closed loop. The next tip that is important to the area command is being able to find where AutoCAD lists the measurement finding. You will need to see at least 2 rows of the command line to see the area measurement callout. Area is one of the few commands that requires 2 command lines for you to see the information. To see more than 1 row of the command line, hover at the top of the command line area, pick and drag to see more of the rows appear. You can see in the row above the active command line that there are 3 bits of information the area command provides: the value of the measured space in square inches, followed by the value of the space in square feet, as seen here in parentheses, followed by a perimeter measurement. These values are accurate only in terms of how accurately you define the space as you pick points around the plan view drawing. In other words, if you missed a pick point, then the overall area measurement may not be accurate. The best way to call out the square footage from the area command list at the command line is to simply copy the information to the clipboard. To do this, highlight the square footage value listed in parentheses. Right mouse click to see the mini menu of options and choose Copy. Pick the Escape key if needed to start the single line text command next. At the command line, type dtext, return Enter key. Set the text height equal to 3/16 of an inch max, or at a minimum 3/32 of an inch, using annotative text style. The rotation angle should be set to 0. Pick the Enter Return key. When you see the blinking cursor, then right mouse click to see the mini menu of options and choose Clipboard and then Paste. Pick on the Return Enter key twice to end the command. Now that you've learned how to conduct the area command using pick points, I will demonstrate a faster method used in conjunction with the Polyline command. At the command line, type Polyline, return Enter key. Pick a starting pick point, which should be an interior corner, like we just did in the previous demonstration. But before you pick a second point, read the command line. Choose W for width. Set the starting width of the polyline to 0.35, return Enter key. Read the command line. Set the ending width of the polyline to 0.35, return Enter key. You are now able to continue picking interior corner points around the plan view. By adding a width to the polyline, you are now better able to see the outline you are creating. Creating the outline around the floor plan area must be done using the Polyline command, because this is the command that joins all of the line segments into a single grouped entity and creates a closed loop. The regular line command is not sufficient because it retains each line segment individually and cannot be used in conjunction with the area command. Once you have picked all of the corners of the interior space, when you want to finish the polyline outline, type in the letter C for close, return Enter key. This closes the polyline loop and defines a contained area. You can clearly see the outlined area of the polyline as well if you added a width to the polyline definition, as I have done here. The next thing we need to do is create a layer for the square footage definition. To do this, create a new layer. Name the layer using the AI master format style naming convention, such as A-ANO-square feet. Assign color number 9 to the layer. The line type should be defined as continuous, and the line weight can remain as the default for now. Now pick on the polyline outline and organize the outline onto the new A-ANO-square feet layer. You should see the outline change colors to a medium light gray color. Any square footage polylines must be organized onto a unique layer so that the information can be turned off and on as needed. At the command line, type Area. Read the command line. Object is the default. Pick on the Return Enter key to accept the default option. Now pick the polyline. Read the command line. You can find the square footage listed in parentheses in the row above the current command line. Alternatively, you can grip the polyline and right mouse click to the Properties panel. Within the Properties panel, the square footage measurement is listed. You can see that the polyline approach is much faster than picking points around the interior space. You can also check more easily to make sure that you've included all of the correct pick points by simply looking at the polyline outline. We have one last demonstration of the area command to consider in this video. How do we subtract smaller areas from an overall larger area? To begin, you need both areas outlined as polylines, as you see here. At the command line, type area. Read the command line. Choose Add. Return Enter key. Choose Object. Return Enter key. Pick on the large polyline outline. Return Enter key. Read the command line. Choose Subtract. Return Enter key. Choose Object. Return Enter key. Pick on the small interior space you wish to subtract from the area within the larger space. Read the row above the active command line to find the results of the overall square footage of the space minus the small interior box seen in this example. To recap this video, the AutoCAD area command was demonstrated using 3 different methods. Method number 1, picking interior points within a floor plan view. In this method, the first and the last points have to be the same in order to create a closed loop for an accurate square footage measurement. In method number 2, the area command is used in conjunction with the polyline command, in which the polyline created a closed loop. I also demonstrated how to give the polyline a thickness for better visual clarity. Finally, a unique layer was created for the polyline outline so that the square footage information could be turned off when the outline is no longer needed. The Polyline method also allows for you to utilize the Properties panel for a quick readout of the square footage when the outline is selected. Method number 3, the final method, is also used in conjunction with the Polyline command, where the overall outline of the floor plan is defined by a polyline and the interior space is also defined by a polyline. In this method, I demonstrated how to add and subtract different areas defined by closed polyline outlines for AutoCAD to provide accurate measurements. Finally, I recommend that you always have at least 2 rows of the AutoCAD command line visible. This is because the area measurement listing is always shown 1 row above the active command line.